Welcome back to another UNC football recruiting podcast here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. And if you're checking us out on our YouTube channel, Tar Heel Illustrated, I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and joining me as she always does when we talk Carolina football recruiting, our very own Miss Deana King. And Deana, Bryson Nesbit commits to the Tar Heels, the 18th member of the class of 2021. And before we dive into that, very quickly, we want to remind everybody, go ahead and if you have not yet done so, click subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so every time we upload a video about football recruiting, basketball recruiting, the football heels, the basketball heels, you guys will get an update. You'll know so you can hop on and check us out. So, Deana, Bryson Nesbit, the 18th member of the class of 2021, a young man that you really started following closely back in the summer when you saw him at a 7-on-7 camp in the Charlotte area. You've been in touch with him a lot. You told me that day two things. One, I think Carolina has a chance to get him. And number two, he needs to be a 4-star. Well, he's a 3-star tight end out of Charlotte. Maybe he will be a 4 before it's all said and done with. Your thoughts on Carolina picking up Bryson Nesbit?
Most Carolina fans, they love comparisons. And he is a prototypical Matt Brown tight end. Go back to the Algie Crumpler days, the Freddie Brown days, stuff like that. Active, very athletic tight ends. Got, they're not just straight up and down. They got a little, build to them. He's a nightmare for the secondary and linebackers because he's too big for the defensive backs to cover, and he's pretty fast for his size for the linebackers. So yeah, he really impressed me this summer at the 7-on-7s. He's got great bloodline with his dad being a former Carolina Panther offensive lineman. Jamar Nesbit. So he's a really good basketball player too. So he's got excellent footwork. So I've been really high on him.
Yeah, Mac had a few NFL tight ends when he was at Carolina the first time around. Algie Crumpler from Wilmington and Freddie Jones from Washington, D.C. both played in the NFL. Algie had a really nice career in the NFL. Now, when you first started talking to me a lot about Bryson Nesbit, one of the things that you actually said, you threw the Ebron word out there a little bit. And you just said, not that you're comparing him to Eric Ebron, who's a phenomenal player, but just you liked a lot of the talents, the skills that he brings an super athletic side to the tight end position, as well as some good size.
He made some athletic catches. That's where I got the Ebron comparison, because he'd go up and get it and fight for the ball. He runs good routes. I like him. I think he's just a perfect fit for the way Mac used his tight ends a long time ago. They talk about running back you and blah, 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 but Mac had a lot of really good tight ends during his first tenure at UNC. So, and Walston's, we think Walston is basically their secret weapon. Me and you, we talk a lot about Garrett Walston. We think that he's a NFL player. He's a great blocker and a great pass route runner and catch, and I can see Bryson Nesbit right in there.
If Jake Vargas can be on the practice squad for the Vikings making over $100,000 a year, Garrett Walston's going to make a roster and play in the NFL. Bryson Nesbit, the number 15 player in the state of North Carolina, number 18 nationally at his position. Chose Carolina over South Carolina. Also, some schools that offered him, LSU, Penn State, Georgia, Florida, and there were, maybe 30 schools or so that offered him.
His top 5 was North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, Mississippi, and UCLA. And when I talked to him back this summer, he was really, really wanting to go out west, and that not happening. So
for a visit, that's one of the
not look at the Bruins having much of a chance. And I always kind of thought it would be the Battle of the Carolinas. And with,
you did.
With that.
And with no visits being allowed, certainly that obviously affected his plan some. But you also said something the other day about what's going on in South Carolina that may have had maybe a little bit of an impact on the decision. He may have known a couple months ago he was going to go to Carolina, or thought I'm leaning that way, but what happened with the coaching situation in South Carolina may have nudged him over to the UNC side fully.
Well, all the 7-on-7s and camps and everything, he has always been surrounded by, there's Tar Heel recruits everywhere. And when I talk to several of the guys, they talk about Bryson. I know him being a fellow Charlotte kid. Drake knows him well. Power Eccles has to know him well. Gavin Blackwell in the same area. Dontavius Nash with the basketball connections. Like I said before, he's a basketball player. He started basketball first, and it kind of moved into football. But who knows? This kid, athletic, got great feet, got great hands, huge pickup. Another Charlotte pickup.
Go ahead. No, another Charlotte kid. Yeah, absolutely. Another in-state kid, another Charlotte kid. Could be another 4-star kid when this is all said and done with. I know that there will be another ranking series that comes out in the next few weeks before signing day, December 16th. He's also going to be an early enrollee, right?
As far as I know, I think he is. We've talked to all the kids that are committed, so I'm not definitely sure he's going to be an early enrollee, but because he's got a lot of basketball stuff on his Twitter and stuff, so
yeah,
he may be one of these that's kind of still undecided, when it comes down to it.
Well, it's a really good pickup. 18 members of Carolina's class of 2021. We think that it'll probably stay at 18, given all the circumstances with COVID and guys getting their year back and all that kind of stuff. Carolina's done very, very well in this class. So Bryson Nesbit is the last, or at least the most recent, and perhaps the last member of Carolina's class of 2021. She's Deana King. I'm Andrew Jones. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video and share it with a bunch of your friends who care about UNC football recruiting. Thanks for stopping by.